Today's forecast is calling for sunny skies, mostly clear tonight. In Alamogordo, high of 95, low of 67. Cloudcroft, high of 75 and an overnight low of 47. For tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny, becoming partly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain. Alamogordo tomorrow, high of 95, low of 69. Cloudcroft tomorrow, high of 75, overnight low of 51.
This is the KNMZ Football Roundtable, Season 32. 5 local business people in a competition, picking winners from the best high school, college, and NFL games every week. Manny Gonzalez from Charles Garland and Harris Agency, Brandon Burling from Desert Sun Auto Group, Timothy Brock of Christ Community Church, Jake Roberts with Coldwell Banker Sutterth Nelson, and Lara Conway of First National Bank. Now let's get to the picks.
You're listening to Alamo AM 1230. We are still here on the AM station. If we're up on the ESPN, if they've got us back on the air, you can actually hear us over there too right now, but I don't know if we're back up on that. And I know we're on the AM. I know we're streaming on youtube.com/ESPN Alamogordo. It's the KNMZ Football Roundtable. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. We've got football all across the area tonight. 3 games among our 4 local high schools. 1 on the road, and of course the other 3 get home games tonight. Cloudcroft opens their season, so we'll touch on that a little bit. Of course, we got our picks, and of course we got our group of our motley crew. We'll start with Manny Gonzalez, Charles Garland, and Harris Agency. Manny, how are you?
Good morning, everybody, and good morning to the greater Alamogordo, Tularosa Valley, Sacramento Mountain, Holloman Superplex.
See, we figured out Metroplex actually works. So now he's gone to Superplex.
Google it. It's on the internet.
That's a wrestling move, Superplex.
I feel like I'm empowering him at this point.
Lara Conway from First National Bank. Lara, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Not too bad. Very busy over there at the bank, I'm sure.
Super busy at the bank, but it's great because it's homecoming and the parade goes right by our bank, so we get to see it all.
That's right. Parade starts at 2:30 or 3 o'clock.
Around 3
o'clock. Yeah. Okay. So 3 o'clock. It actually starts right in front of where we're at here on Cuba, and then goes to 10th Street and down. So, Brandon Burling from Desert Sun Auto Group. What's up, buddy?
Nothing. A beautiful day, and coming off of decent car month last month, and schools. Everybody's got their kids back in school, and tuition's paid, all that good stuff. So, I know if you're looking for a little bit more debt, just come and see me. I'm really good at helping people out with that.
Dave Ramsey says no. He's on another radio channel. So pay cash.
There you go. Well, go on by there and see Brandon, see all the folks at the various Desert Sun locations across our area. Timothy Brock from Christ Community Church. Tim, what's up, buddy?
Man, I wish we had a live stream with video so you could see the visual beauty and splendor of our group. Charles, Manny, Laura, and Brandon. Beautiful people.
There you go.
MJ. He was being sassy before the game, and he's winning, so keep him humble.
How was your trip to Tucson? Good time.
That was great. Yeah, it was great. It's very hot there, but we had a great time. Preached 3 times there in Tucson, and family enjoyed the pool while I was working, so it was perfect.
All right, very good. Yeah. And Jake Roberts with Coldwell Banker Sutterth Nelson, and of course leading our group as was aforementioned there by Tim. Tim did not have a good week last week. He was tied with Jake, and yeah. But not too bad, right?
I'm trying to be humble on top. It's kind of a new feeling for me. Normally I'm just a heel from the bottom and I'm okay with it, but I'm trying to be humble at the top. So we're trying to be that's where we're trying to be for right now. Yeah. I don't want to hurt Tim's feelings. He's too close. He can hit me.
Everybody did about the same last week. Jake bested us all at 12-4, but 11-5 for myself, Lara, Brandon, and Manny, and Tim went out there on a couple and just didn't quite pay off for him. So
Florida State, Oregon, there was some that were just right there at the end.
That Oregon game was good though.
Yeah, Florida State especially was the one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, the Oregon, I wasn't totally surprised that Auburn came back. I thought they were good enough, but the fact that Florida State blew that huge lead to Boise at home.
When they got that ball at 4 minutes to go, I was like, okay, I've got this.
Looking at the first half of the game, you would have thought Oregon had that game.
Oh, they sprinted to a start.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this isn't.
But Auburn went back and made the adjustments, and they
they came back.
They did good.
Yep. All right, on to our high school games for this week. Alamogordo finally getting to play technically their first game of the season with that Valencia game not counting. So they get their season started with homecoming tonight. Ruidoso comes into town. This was a crazy game last year, 57-54. Ruidoso won. We had a weather delay. We had the Tigers kicker got injured right before the game. I mean, it was weird. And I had never called the game up there at Ruidoso Stadium. It's really in a, Manning likes to talk about Ambler Stadium up in Cloudcroft. Ruidoso's is kind of down in a hole and kind of away from everything. It's beautiful. I mean, it's a gorgeous place. But they get to come down here this year. Ruidoso beat Hatch last week 22-0 after Roswell had beaten them pretty soundly in the first week. And Tigers just been waiting. Had a bye week last week and going to try to not let the layoff hurt them here. Ruidoso returns a lot of their talented players from last season. But I think, the big thing that you can say is the Tigers are a better football team. The defense looks better, but I think this is probably going to be a better test than Valencia would have been if they had gotten through the entire game. So I think this is going to be an interesting matchup. Manny?
Well, Tigers are back in black. Homecoming game tonight at Tiger Stadium. Ruidoso's got a young guy, number 18, Gage Guardiola.
Yep.
That's how you say it. And I understand he's special. Ruidoso's put up 35 points, giving up 53. We're not even talking about the Tigers' first game because that was a scrub.
Yeah, but they played okay in that first.
I was impressed. That was the best quarter of football I've seen the Tigers play in 2 seasons so far. Anyway, I'm going to go Tigers at home.
Yeah, I think Gage was a transfer from Mayfield. I think that he was there, and then that was a couple years ago. So, he obviously was in that program, and talented kid from everything I've heard. And they've got a lot of talent in their skill positions for sure.
That's a 4 coming to a 5.
It is.
Beat the people you're supposed to beat, especially in your place.
Right?
I'm gonna have to agree with me. Tigers are at home. It's homecoming. I think they're going to be the better team tonight. So Tigers.
All right, Brandon.
Well, I hope to see the stands packed. I can tell you that, Alamogordo, right now, if you're listening, please come out and support these Tigers. It's going to be a fun, exciting game, and Tigers are going to come away with the win.
All right. Tim?
Well, we really don't know much about Alamogordo, like you said. One quarter, we're super excited. We're like the dude who's pursuing his dream date, and she kind of winked at him. And so we think, we're in, man. We got it. And so hopefully that one quarter proves to be the wink meant marriage, and that the Alamogordo Tigers are going to have a good season. I'm going to go with it. I mean, Ruidoso beat us last year. I do think we're going to be better this year, so I'm going to go with the Tigers at home.
Jake?
I'm not really sure I can compete with the wink analogy on this one, so I'm just going to let it go. Let's take Alamogordo at home.
Yeah, another guy to watch out for is Layson Powell. He had a big game last year. He's a big wide receiver. We'll see how the Tigers' defense. Both teams put up a ton of points last year, and I'm trying to remember the other young man's name. But
they're not the same team as last year.
No. I think the Tigers are considerably better. I think
they're bigger. They're stronger. They're more experienced. I mean.
Yeah.
And they're not arrested.
I think Coach Falsetti is made a difference in the defense, but I think it's also with, a little bit of hesitation just because we haven't really seen the Tigers play yet. I haven't seen Ruidoso yet this year, so we'll see. Well, hopefully we get a good game tonight. I'm going to pick Tigers, but I think it's going to be an interesting game, and we'll see. Just Ruidoso does have a lot of what they had last year coming back, so it's going to be intriguing.
And losing to Roswell's no joke. I mean, everyone's going to lose to Roswell. So
one last thing, all you citizens out there. If you've got a game day flag that's sitting in the corner of your office, please take it out and put it on. I'd like to have as many of those game day flags out when Ruidoso rolls into town in a few hours. Desert Sun GM's got all your flags out. Toyota House got yours out.
I haven't been at work pretty much. I couldn't tell you.
I've only got one flagpole, but my sole flag is out there. So if you've got a game day flag, let's get it out. Let's show Ruidoso a proper welcome as they roll into town.
That's good. I've seen a lot of them out already today. So yeah, definitely if we can get a few more out, that would be great. Tularosa coming off a close win late in the night. They had weather delays last week and didn't get started till pretty late. And I think the game finished around 11:30, if I remember. I was kind of watching along. So Tule beat Socorro 9-7, kicked a field goal with about 90 seconds left in the game. They'll get Lordsburg this week. Coach Dale Hooper, who used to be at Alamogordo High School, coaches out at Lordsburg. They beat Loving last week 56-6. Lost to Wilcox out of Arizona in the opening week of the season. So you look at a team going down in classification here. Thule playing at a 2A team in Lordsburg. This is a long time rivalry between Lordsburg and Tularosa in a lot of different sports. I know within the last 15 years they played a state championship football game against each other. I believe it was in the 2000s at some point. So it's certainly been a fun rivalry between the two teams. And it's one of those that you look at it, you feel like you expect Tularosa to go out there and get the win, but we'll see if the Mavericks have got a team that can compete with Thule this year. We'll see. All right?
I want to say something, but I don't want to jinx myself. Thule hasn't let me down yet, so I'm going to stick with them.
All right. Brandon?
I think Tularosa's rolling pretty strong right now. I'm gonna continue to ride with them.
All right. Tim?
I'll admit I got that game wrong last week. Another close one. Broke my heart. In a good way. That was one I was kind of glad I got wrong. Love Coach Hooper. It's a long bus ride, but I think Thule's got too many big horses, and they're going to take care of business.
All right. Jake?
Thule the other way.
Yeah, I think the Wildcats should win this game, but we'll see what kind of improvement Lordsburg's made. I think it's just the numbers comes into account a little bit here between a 2A team and a 3A team.
So what is the lay of the land here? Tularosa plays in District 4, 3A, Dexter, New Mexico Military Institute, and Tucumcari. In District 2A, District 3, 2A is Capitan, Cloudcroft, Estancia, Mescalero, and Lordsburg. That's the lay of the land here. And so I like Trayton Griffin. I like the bus ride for the Wildcats. I'm going Wildcats on the road.
All right, everybody with Thule on that one. All right, we'll head over to Las Cruces. The Bulldogs hosting the La Cueva Bears. Cruces really looked good against El Dorado last week for any of us, and there were a couple of us that went with the Eagles last week. And the Bulldogs, very impressive again. La Cueva bounced back after a tight loss to Volcano Vista in Week 1, beat Valley 43-0. So no big issues there for them. I think this is another tough one to pick. Cruces has started off with 3 really difficult games in a row. They've looked great against 2 Albuquerque schools already. They've got a chance to kind of go for the sweep. I don't know if they get any more Albuquerque schools the rest of their schedule, but they've definitely, and I know that that's a big deal for the Cruces folks to beat 3 Albuquerque schools in a row.
And they did it on the road.
Yeah, this one will be at home, but yeah, if they can finish off this run of Manzano, El Dorado, La Cueva, that would, I'm sure, be some decent bragging rights there for the Bulldogs. Ben?
Well, let's just put it this way. I've picked against Las Cruces
every time,
and it has not worked out for me. So, with that being said, I'm taking Bulldogs.
See, now you jinxed them, Brandon.
I know, now I gotta switch my pick. Freaking Brandon.
Do it.
Do it.
The battle of the LCs, La Cueva, Las Cruces. Yeah, I've been riding with Las Cruces, and if I hadn't, I'd be in dead last. So, yeah, I think Cruces, they're finally at home. 2 tough games in Albuquerque. They're a blue chip program. La Cueva's really good too, but I'm going to go with Cruces.
Jake?
Yeah, Cruces is ranked number 1 in the state. I think they deserve that, especially after going into Albuquerque and taking care of business. So I like them at home. This should be a much easier trip for them because they'll just have to roll out of bed and knock it out instead of driving for 4 hours. So let's take Cruces at home.
I'm going to run a little play here. I'm going to go La Cueva. I think La Cueva's very good. They clearly were able to hang with Volcano Vista. I think this is a coin flip kind of game. I went out on a limb last week with El Dorado. This doesn't feel as much like that. But Cruces confirmed me again, and that's fair. But I did pick them Week 1, so this is kind of going back and forth for me. But I'm going to go La Cueva. I think they'll go on the road and get the win. Manny?
Yeah, I was watching the sportscast from Albuquerque, Las Cruces, El Dorado game, and the first thing they showed was the El Dorado's first touchdown, and then the sportscaster mumbled something about Las Cruces winning the game. and in fact, that score was 48-14.
Nice.
Las Cruces. 48-14. Las Cruces. Now La Cueva comes to town. La Cueva's put up 68, given up 36. The Bulldogs have put up 103, given up 41. It's at the Field of Dreams. Bulldogs.
There.
Charles, I'll go out on the limb with you. I'm picking Cueva.
All right. I don't have a good reason. I don't know if you do as well. Just think you can pick one up there. That's about all I did because I figured everybody would go Cruces. So. Manzano at Centennial. Manzano had a tough opening week, but bounced back and beat Rio Grande 49-6. They go to play Centennial, who beat West Mesa 55-0. So a couple of games in Cruces, and I have a feeling where everybody's going to go on this one just based on what we saw with Manzano against Las Cruces High and how well Centennial looks. Centennial might be the best team in that district this year with Cruces and Hobbs and that whole group, but I'll let you know. There wasn't a lot of great games to put on the sheet this week in the high school ranks. So, Tim?
Yeah, I got Centennial right first week when they won in, double or triple overtime. That was nice. Manzano's good, though. I mean, just like you do with La Cueva, these are not schools that should just be taken lightly. But I do think Centennial at home, I think this is the year that they want to really emerge in the city of Las Cruces and in the entire state of New Mexico. So I'm going to go with Centennial.
Yeah, I've been flying with the Hawks all year. Still riding the high off of last year. I'm going to keep riding that. So let's roll with the Hawks.
Yeah, I think Centennial wins, but we'll see if Manzano can keep this a little bit closer than they did against Las Cruces. So I'm kind of curious. This could be a little bit of a test to see where maybe Cruces and Centennial are in relation to each other. But it's always difficult playing that, who played, the comparative games, because sometimes, different stuff happens in different games. That's not necessarily a fair way to look at it. But we'll see, man.
Yeah, it's still early in the season. But Centennial, I've just been real impressed with the numbers in their program. That program is thriving. They've got a heartbeat over there that's just impressive. Very, very impressive. I'm going Hawks.
Yeah.
I guess I'll stick with everybody else. I'm going Hawks as well.
It's Brandon.
Monarchs, Hawks. I mean,
Right?
Gotta go Hawks.
All right. All right, in our last high school game this week, we're going to go smaller school here. Dexter traveling to Hagerman. Both teams are 2-0. Dexter beat Texaco last week 21-15. Hagerman 61-6. They beat Mescalero Apache last week. So this is two teams in close proximity to each other. It's not much of a road trip. So I think an intriguing game. You do have a 3A team down to playing a 2A team. It was between this and I think Portales and West Las Vegas were going to be my choices for these last games. So
Which we know so much.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that maybe just with it being in the southeast part of the state, it's a little bit closer. I don't know. Jake?
Dexter.
Dexter? I'm going to go Dexter. I think the Demons are very good in 3A this year. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hagerman gives them a good game. That's a town and a football program that traditionally is pretty solid. Manny?
Yeah, Dexter beat Santa Rosa 28-0 and Texaco 21-15. Hagerman's got 2 road wins, but it was against Capitan and Mescalero. I'm going Demons.
Mara?
Dexter.
Brandon?
I guess I'll ride Dexter too.
Tim?
Well, Brandon said he had a coin toss. I didn't see you flip a coin, bro. So, yeah, Dexter, dude, they're legit. It was heads, okay. I did actually had Hagerman early in the year. They're pretty good, but beating Texaco and beating Santa Rosa, I mean, Dexter's already played 2 perennial top teams, and they beat them both. So, yeah, I think this is the easiest game so far. It's Dexter.
Yeah, I was surprised that that Texaco-Dexter game was as close as it was. I knew Texaco was good, but I kind of expected Dexter to win by a little bit bigger margin. So that
21-15.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of an idea of how good the Wolverines are this year. So, all right, do you want to mention again? Cloudcroft Bears are opening up their season tonight. They get Loving at home. That's 7 o'clock kickoff up in the mountains. Mescalero Apaches at home tonight. They moved their homecoming. They were going to do it this week, and I think they're moving it sometime in October. But they are playing Clayton tonight. Also a 7 o'clock kickoff, and of course we've already mentioned Alamogordo and Tularosa. Of course, we'll be on the air on 92.7. Coyote Country with the game tonight. We'll hopefully be on the air on 103.7 as well, but we will have it. And of course, you can also listen to it on our stream, which is youtube.com/ESPN Alamogordo. We have all of our Tiger Sports events available on there for you. All right, we'll take a break, and we'll get some pretty good college games this week, so we'll get to that. Coming up after this, you're listening to the KNMZ Football Roundtable on Alamo AM 1230 and ESPN Alamogordo.
It's celebration time here at Desert Sun Toyota. Come help us celebrate our 25 years of being a business right here in Alamogordo, and Toyota's Model Year End Closeout event is happening this month. We have truckloads of brand new Toyotas hitting the ground daily to help us celebrate, along with the strongest factory incentives of the year. Right now, receive up to $1,250 cash back on the new 2019 Toyota 4Runners, or up to $1,750 cash back on the #1 selling Tacoma. Highlanders are disappearing with $3,000 cash back or 0% financing. These are just a few of the many great incentives happening this month at Desert Sun Toyota. Desert Sun Toyota's used car supercenter is stacked with a great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles that all have been inspected to receive our lifetime powertrain only offered at Desert Sun Auto Group. If you're in the market for a pre-owned truck, SUV, or car, come see why so many people vote Desert Sun #1 auto dealer in Otero County year after year. Find our inventory at DesertSunToyota.com.
Hi, I'm Pastor Tim Brock, and I'd like to invite you to Christ Community Church, a place to belong, a place to come together, and a place to leave inspired. We have dynamic worship, engaging and relevant Bible teaching, and excellent ministries for everyone in the family. Our worship services are Sundays at 9 and 11:15. Christ Community Church, where it's about relationship, not religion, and where Jesus Christ is Lord. For more information, find us online at christcommunityalamo.org.
Hi, my name is Jake Roberts, and I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Southern Nelson. Are you looking for your dream home, or are you looking to sell your property and need the guidance to get noticed? I can help you with professional real estate services today. Call me at 575-446-8574 or email me at jake@nmmistas.com. To view a list of our inventory, visit our website at alamogordo-coldwellbanker.com or visit us at 800 Scenic Drive in Alamogordo.
Sometimes you just need a loan. Your daughter Debbie is getting married. Your son Toby needs a new tuba. Let's face it, families cost money. Things come up that you had no way of predicting. We make personal loans for occasions like this to people who have good credit. So next time you find yourself connected to the unexpected, stop in and see us about a personal loan, subject to credit approval. First National Bank, member FDIC. When you grow, we grow.
At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, we are proud of the great high schools in Alamogordo, Cloudcroft, Mescalero, and Tularosa. Our student athletes set a valuable example for everyone to follow. They work hard to succeed in the classroom and in competitive sports and contribute enormous time and energy to bring pride to their schools and community. At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, as we work hard to protect the families and businesses of Otero County, we proudly take pause to follow our student athletes and extend our best wishes for their success every day in the classroom and on game day.
ESPN Alamogordo 103.7, Alamo AM 1230. It's the KNMZ Football Roundtable. Thanks for tuning in here on your Friday, and if you're joining us online as well on the ESPN Alamogordo YouTube channel. Moving on to our college picks for this week. By the way, I'd like to mention right off the top, New Mexico State taking on Alabama, 55.5-point spread. That's just would you take the points? Would you take the over on it, or do you think Alabama will cover? Man, you think Alabama will cover?
Alabama won't even leave the tailgate in the parking lot.
The fans won't, but will the football teams beat New Mexico by 55 or 56 points?
No.
No?
No.
I think it actually was at 54.5, so it's
moved up.
It's moved up.
Yeah.
So
After the first series, offense and defense, the 2s and the 3s will be coming in. So that's going to control that.
Yeah, the 2s and 3s for Alabama are probably a little bit better than New Mexico.
I think I would actually take the under in that.
I think I would too, Tim.
Definitely. Alabama is going to destroy them because of how they played last week, and Nick Saban is not going to be happy, and we, as New Mexico State fans, are going to suffer the consequences of that.
Yeah.
Telling you.
Think they beat them by 56?
I don't actually.
Okay. Larry? You think they will, don't you?
Yeah.
Right.
66.
That was one I wanted to throw in there in the show because listen,
I got a little Alabama love. We're good.
I'm an Aggies alum. I mean, but I know. And it was funny, Mario Mocha, the athletic director, celebrated his birthday this week, and Jack Nixon asked Doug Martin, the head coach for MSU, that, did he get Mario anything for his birthday? He's like, hey, we're playing Alabama. I don't need to get him anything for his birthday because they're getting paid like $2 million to go out there and play that game. So keeps the budget balanced at New Mexico State, some of these money games. Okay, LSU and Texas, a game that should be close. Number 6 LSU, number 9 Texas. Both teams won last week, didn't play tough opponents. Georgia Southern for the Tigers, and the Longhorns beat Louisiana Tech. And I think an intriguing matchup. This is kind of an old school matchup. It feels like I can't remember last time LSU played Texas, so I think hopefully it'll be fun. LSU's getting 6.5 in this game. Manny?
Yeah, the line is moving up. It's at Texas. I'm going to run play here. I'm going to go Longhorns on this one.
All right. Blair?
I have to go with LSU.
Brandon?
You know, my brother and his boys down there and Austin are big Longhorn fans. I'm going to go Texas Longhorns.
And I wanted to make sure it is in Austin. This is not a neutral site game, so kind of fun that it's actually being played there in Austin.
Yeah, and Texas Memorial Stadium has been the last few years a tough place to win for visiting teams. I don't think it's quite the same advantage as playing down in LSU, but dude, I think LSU is a title contender. I think Texas is going to be very good this year, but to me, LSU is that first tier, maybe that 1B to Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, and then LSU's right there. So I'm going to go LSU.
All right. Jake?
Yeah, I agree. I think Texas is looking pretty good, and you could definitely tell they're back, and college football is better when they are good, but I still think LSU walks away with this.
Yeah, this is a game that, opportunity here for, Coach Herman to really, make noise for Texas and this, hey, we're back kind of thing. Because, we've seen teams like Texas or Miami or a few others that have been ranked pretty high early in the season and it doesn't really mean much. So, clearly they were better last year. Just the odds makers. I mean, the fact that LSU is 6.5 on the road at UT there, I got to go LSU. So, we'll see. I don't think that's a bad pick by Manny or Brandon, though. Okay, Texas A&M goes to Clemson. We have a Clemson fan on the big sheet, and I always say if it's under 3 touchdowns, I'm going to make sure that it gets on the sheet.
Is that the rule?
Yeah, it is. I know, it really is. I mean, the problem is Alabama's usually a favorite by 3 or by 4 or 5 or 6 or what is that this week? Let me do my multiplications. That's 7 touchdowns this week. Yeah. Whatever it is. Is that many? Yeah, it's a bunch. 8. No, that's 8.
It's 8. You're right. Sorry. That's okay. I just marked my sheet down for everybody, so I'm pretty sure where this game's going.
Yeah. Clemson's ranked number 12, and we're seeing Jimbo Fisher can get this program back to, it was towards the top there for a little while. Had a lot of excitement when Johnny Football was there, and things didn't quite end up staying as strong under Kevin Sumlin. But they're going to the other Death Valley. Or is it the Death Valley, Lara?
Right. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I picked Clemson. I did the girl thing and colors, and then But I've stayed true, and then now they're legitimate. So now I have to justify why I'm.
He's got very pretty long hair too.
Yeah. Right. He's so pretty.
Yeah. Is it the orange or the purple?
Purple. Purple's my favorite color.
Oh, okay, so I wasn't sure which one was it there.
Yeah.
Purple's not a very often thing you see with college teams. Anyway, I assume. Orange or purple?
Yeah. So, yes, you're assuming right. I'm going with Clemson.
Okay.
Orange and white.
They don't. I don't think I've ever seen them wear purple as their primary color, but it's in there. So have they worn purple?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I've only ever seen orange and white, but maybe I'm just not paying enough attention.
I've seen it as like a highlight color. Brandon?
Just put me down with everybody else.
Okay. Tim?
I do like Texas A&M. I like Clemson just because I can't stand Alabama, so I'm going to go with Clemson.
Okay.
Clemson.
Yeah, Tigers. Manny?
I can barely get it out. Over and under 64, the Clemson line is 17. But it's falling. I'm going Tigers.
Okay. I think an interesting game in the ACC here. Syracuse going to Maryland. You got Coach Loxley, who was there at UNM, and I'm sure many Lobos fans around the area still have bad memories of his run there, but they beat Howard last week 79-0. That means anything. Syracuse was ranked 21st, beat Liberty 24-0. That was kind of a fun game because Liberty's coach Hugh Freeze was coaching from a hospital bed up in the booth. He's been dealing with a staph infection and a back issue, and it was weird because the Syracuse coach give a thumbs up from the field. You see him up there in the booth in the hospital bed. It was one of the more surreal. It was such a college football thing. It felt. I don't know.
That's commitment, Holmes.
It is, yeah. Maryland's getting 2 in this game, the last line that I saw. Brandon, who do you like?
Syracuse?
Said with such confidence.
Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah, Maryland's favored to win this game. But I think Syracuse, they're really the only team that's going to push Clemson in that conference. So I'm going to go with Syracuse just because I hope there's some competition for Clemson down the road.
All right. Jake.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a really close game, and I've seen Maryland kind of pull off some interesting wins that you don't really expect them to do, but they play really, really well. I had Syracuse on my sheet, though, and I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. I know, right? That's what I was thinking. I really thought I was going to get one on this, but...
I just, you know what, this is a spite pick because, you know, I kind of switched my allegiances a few years ago. I used to be a huge Lobos fan. And
it's been more than a few years there, Charlie.
Well, no, it's been a while that I went over the Aggies, but I was a Lobos fan when Loxley was the coach up there, and it was such an embarrassing period. So I don't want to see him do well at Maryland. I know that's really mean-spirited, but I want Syracuse to win this game.
Good radio.
Yeah. I just thought that was the way that went down was ugly, and the fact the guy's gotten back to being a football coach is interesting. Manny?
I don't know anything about Maryland. I don't think I've ever seen him on television. I don't believe I even know what their team colors are or their mascot.
It's one color.
They're red and white and black, and a lot of times they wear the helmet. Have you seen the Maryland state flag before?
Yep.
It's kind of like 4 different quadrants.
It's got the Baltimore Raven thing going on?
No, I don't. I'll have to bring it up on the computer for you here. No, it doesn't.
But anyway, I'm going Maryland.
Okay.
Oh, all right then. This is not where I thought that was going, Laura.
I believe their mascot are the Terps. They're the Maryland Terps. Am I correct?
Kind of like turtles?
Yes.
The Terrapin. Yeah, Terps for short.
I'm digging this now.
Yeah.
Now I'm digging it.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Manny and pick Maryland.
Okay.
Nice. That's because Manny likes a slow starter.
Nebraska.
I don't think I can say this on the air.
Old school Big 12 matchup here, Nebraska and Colorado. Both teams are out of that conference now. Nebraska's out in the Big 10. Colorado's in the Pac-12. Nebraska, not that... I'm still surprised they're ranked 25th. They did not look that great against South Alabama at home there in Lincoln last week. Colorado a little more impressive against Colorado State, 52-31. Nebraska's still getting 4 on the road in this game. Kind of an intriguing line there. I was a little surprised. I thought maybe they'd build more faith in Colorado, but that obviously could just be where the money is going, so who knows? Tim?
Well, I was trying to remember some famous Colorado quarterbacks.
Cordell Stewart, man.
Yeah, that's actually who I was thinking of. Cordell Stewart versus Eric Crouch, right? This is a flashback to the 90s. I used to really like Nebraska for some reason as a kid. Maybe because they were good. Nebraska.
Sean Salam back in the day, running back, and
Phillips or something.
Well, yeah.
And I like Eric Crouch a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Nebraska.
Jake.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually watch the game last week with Colorado, so I didn't see it, so I'm not really sure how they played. But as a rule, I've never been super impressed with the program, as opposed to a program like Nebraska. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the Cornhuskers on this one. I think they're the better team.
Never gonna catch this guy.
That's kind of what I'm sitting there thinking too. I'm like, poor Tim. I almost feel bad, but I kind of don't.
Hey, we forget about Colorado. They won a national championship in the early 90s. I mean, this is the team that, they had...
that was 30 years ago.
But still, they're a program...
30 years ago.
No, but just the fact, we don't think about them in terms that we do Nebraska. Nebraska hasn't won a national title in 30 years. I mean, so I'm just saying, in the way we look at certain programs across the country, the way we view Texas, the way we view, Notre Dame and a few others, Notre Dame hasn't won a national title in 30 years or something like that. So, but we still look at Notre Dame with the reverence that we do. We don't necessarily do that with Colorado. I'm going to go with the Buffs at home. I think I wasn't impressed with Nebraska. I hope, I hope Scott Frost gets things turned around there in Nebraska because I think it's good for college football if Nebraska is good. But I like Colorado.
Stat check. Nebraska won the title in 94, 95, and 97. So
97?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
That's okay.
I remember 94, 95, the back-to-back ones, but anyway. Hey.
Well, Colorado's in our time zone. The Sacramentos are the southernmost tip of the Rocky Mountains. Did you know that? And they got the altitude going for them. I just hope the coaches have got the recreational marijuana situation under control. I'm going Colorado at home.
And the Boulder, I'm guessing that's a no.
Larry?
Nebraska.
All right. It's Brandon.
Man, I'll go Nebraska.
I thought we might have a clean split there. Didn't quite get it.
Don't feel it.
All right. This, to me, is just an intriguing game because you have two top-level programs but didn't have good weeks last week. BYU lost to Utah. That wasn't a terrible loss by any means. Tennessee losing at home to Georgia State was about as bad as it can get for Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee fans are as crazed as any college football fans as you'll find out there. I think their stadium is the 4th or 5th biggest in the country. I mean, it rivals the big house up in Michigan. I mean, 100,000 plus people. And to lose at home to a 2-win Georgia State team from last year is just so bad.
They paid big money to go up there.
Yeah. to beat up on. And I don't know. Tennessee's still getting 4 in this game, which I find interesting. But maybe Tennessee will figure stuff out this week. That was embarrassing. They'll bounce back and beat BYU, but I think it's going to be a close game. Jake?
For all the reasons you said, Tennessee should be embarrassed. Tennessee should have a chip on their shoulder. They are favored by 4. I'm going to take them at home.
I'm going to go BYU. I don't think they're by any means loads better than Tennessee, but I think there's also something to be said, the pressure on Tennessee and their players to be able to bounce back and win this game. So I'm going to go Cougars on the road. Benny?
I like the balls at home.
Blair?
Tennessee.
Brandon?
BYU had a decent year last year. I don't know where they ended up ranking, but I remember they had one of the better years that they've had in a while. Tennessee just when was the last time you've seen Tennessee a good team?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, and that doesn't tell you how long ago that was.
Ouch. Well, they won a national championship with T. Martin, so it was after Peyton Manning that they won that national title. So
I'm gonna go BYU on the road.
Tip.
There's something like I just can't pick BYU for spiritual reasons, but I really want to get one on Jake. Oh,
what a decision here!
I know.
We're throwing in spiritual reasons. For a football game.
I know, it's stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna go with BYU.
All right. Hey, you know what? It's as good of a reason as any with some of these games that we pick, So
just to be against me, when he went against religion, I feel like his priorities are a little mixed up on this one. They are. I like it though. I like it.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. More of the KNMZ Football Roundtable coming up for you on Alamo AM 1230 and ESPN Alamogordo.
At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, we are proud of the great high schools in Alamogordo, Cloudcroft, Mescalero, and Tularosa. Our student athletes set a valuable example for everyone to follow. They work hard to succeed in the classroom and in competitive sports and contribute enormous time and energy to bring pride to their schools and community. At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, as we work hard to protect the families and businesses of Otero County, we proudly take pause to follow our student athletes and extend our best wishes for their success every day in the classroom and on game day.
Sometimes you just need a loan. Your daughter Debbie is getting married. Your son Toby needs a new tuba. Let's face it, families cost money. Things come up that you had no way of predicting. We make personal loans for occasions like this to people who have good credit. So next time you find yourself connected to the unexpected, stop in and see us about a personal loan, subject to credit approval. First National Bank, member FDIC. When you grow, we grow.
Are you looking to rent or need someone to manage your property? Hi, I'm Jake Roberts with Coldwell Banker, Sudderth Nelson. Did you know that we are the largest property management company in Alamogordo? Whether you are looking for a short-term housing solution or to turn an existing property into a great long-term investment, give us a call at 575-437-1137. Visit our website today at alamogordocoldwellbanker.com or come by and see us at 800 Scenic Drive.
Hi, I'm Pastor Tim Brock, and I'd like to invite you to Christ Community Church, a place to belong, a place to come together, and a place to leave inspired. We have dynamic worship, engaging and relevant Bible teaching, and excellent ministries for everyone in the family. Our worship services are Sundays at 9 and 11:15. Christ Community Church, where it's about relationship, not religion, and where Jesus Christ is Lord. For more information, find us online at christcommunityalamo.org.
It's celebration time here at Desert Sun Toyota. Come help us celebrate our 25 years of being in business right here in Alamogordo, and Toyota's Model Year End Closeout event is happening this month. We have truckloads of brand new Toyotas hitting the ground daily to help us celebrate, along with the strongest factory incentives of the year. Right now, receive up to $1,250 cash back on the new 2019 Toyota 4Runners, or up to $1,750 cash back on the #1 selling Tacoma. Highlanders are disappearing with $3,000 cash back or 0% financing. These are just a few of the many great incentives happening this month at Desert Sun Toyota. Desert Sun Toyota's used car supercenter is stacked with a great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles that all have been inspected to receive our lifetime powertrain, only offered at Desert Sun Auto Group. If you're in the market for a pre-owned truck, SUV, or car, come see why so many people vote Desert Sun #1 auto dealer in Otero County year after year. Find our inventory at DesertSunToyota.com.
There are no roadblocks scheduled today on either Highway 70 or 54 South. For the latest roadblock information, call 575-678-1178. Today's forecast is calling for sunny skies, mostly clear tonight. In Alamogordo, high of 95, low of 67. Cloudcroft, high of 75, and a number 9, low of 47. For tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny, becoming partly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain. Alamogordo tomorrow, high of 95, low of 69. Cloudcroft tomorrow, high of 75, overnight low of 51.
You're listening to ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. Welcome back to the KNMZ Football Roundtable. As we move on to our pro picks for this week, and we'll start off with Tennessee at Cleveland. Cleveland's getting 5.5 in this game. I'm a little surprised the line is as big as it is, but obviously there's a lot of hype around the Browns going into this season, so a lot of people are feeling. Tim obviously had an issue with either the chair or the...
Oh, man, I just need the... Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You guys can't see that, obviously. All right, Jake, you like your Browns or the Tennessee Titans?
My Browns.
Well, they're your Browns this year.
They're my Browns this year. I'll take it.
But you're like, what the nickname you have for Manziel?
Baker,
Not Manziel, Baker Mayfield, sorry. Mayfield Manziel.
But I stole that. I can't claim that. But I stole it. I'm taking it though. It's mine.
All right.
So did you know that Cleveland actually hasn't won an opener in 14 years?
That doesn't surprise me at all.
That doesn't shock me at all either. But I was kind of like, ow, that's kind of stinging a little bit. But I'm going to take Cleveland anyway. I think this is the year that changes. I really do think they've got a really good offensive talents over there. Tennessee is kind of a scary team. I think they're going to be really, really good this year. But we're going to see if Cleveland can break the cycle and maybe hit the playoffs this year. Let's see what happens.
I really want to take Tennessee just because I feel like there's so much hype around Cleveland, and this feels like a game that Tennessee was 9-7 last year. They were a good team last season, but I just think the weapons. I think Cleveland's ready to. They've been looking for this moment for since the season ended last year. They were on the uptrend, so I'm going to go with the Browns. Manny?
Yeah, my friend Darryl Bode used to coach the Tigers. He's now retired in Ruidoso. He was a Cleveland Brown fan from the beginning and all the way through to now. I'm going to go Cleveland at home.
Okay. Larry?
I got Cleveland as well.
All right. Brandon?
You know, this is exciting, right? For people to talk about the Browns, the only talk about the Browns that's been going on is the fact that the Browns don't know how to win a football game for the last 20 years, it seems like, right?
So are we talking about the Browns or are we talking about Oakland?
So just to watch Baker Mayfield get in there and excite the team and, to turn their season around just like that. And now they just added some more weapons to give them. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to go Cleveland all year long. I'm excited for them.
All right. Tim?
I think Charles said it best. Man, I'm going last. Cleveland's just hyped up. That's going to move the point spread. Jake has never saw a point spread he doesn't like as far as taking the team who's favored to win. I'm going to man up, and I'm going to take Tennessee.
I think it's a good pick, man. I wimped out at the end because I was real close to making the pick, and there's so many other games I've kind of gone off the sheet with, so I
just want to go on the record. Syracuse, Maryland. I went against the spread.
It was two. I'm shocked no one else is going this way. I'm such a rebel.
Just say it.
Buffalo goes to New York to play the Jets. Jets are 3 in this game. So essentially home field. I think two teams that are kind of on even footing here. Young quarterbacks. They seem to be getting better. The Jets, talent-wise, you would say, got better with bringing in Le'Veon Bell and a couple other players. First game of the season, I'll go Bills on the road. I think they're going to be a good team this year. Probably not a playoff team, but 7, 8, 9 wins somewhere in there I think is probably doable for the Bills this year. We'll see what kind of improvement Josh Allen's ready to make this year, but it's first game. I'm not going to pick against the Bills here. Manny?
Yeah, there's so much mystery in this early part of the NFL season. You know, it's really hard to make any determinations. And certainly, I'm not good at guessing, as you can tell by my position on the sheet. But I like the Jets in this one. I'm going to go Jets, Jets.
Claire?
Oh, man. I'm going to go the Bills as well.
All right. Brandon?
I'm going to go Jets at home.
Tim?
I'm going to go Buffalo on the road.
Jake?
I kept Bell, even though he didn't play last year on my fantasy team. I'm hoping the Jets are going to look good with him because I need some points, so I'm going to take the Jets.
All right. The Indianapolis Colts, and I actually put the LA Chargers on here every time. I want to call them San Diego. I'm sure, I don't know how many times when I'm on the radio I call them San Diego.
I scrolled through the lines and I was like, where's the Chargers? Oh, yeah, it's LA.
I know. They're always going to be San Diego to me. The big question here obviously is, I think there's probably two questions. Number one is, how Brissett does taking over there in Indianapolis. But is Melvin Gordon's absence going to have any type of an impact with the Chargers this year? My feeling is I don't think it's going to be that huge, but they'll miss him, I would imagine. Brandon?
Obviously there's been a lot of disruption in Indianapolis, but let's not forget that with all the changes that Indianapolis has made, when you were talking about Andrew Luck being their quarterback, they're saying this could be potentially a Super Bowl team, okay? Mm-hmm. Brissett has all of those other weapons still there. I'm going to go Colts.
I think it's a big question mark. We've seen him play decently at times, and he knows the offense. It's not some guy that's coming in off the street. Mm-hmm. Tim?
Yeah, I fully agree with Brandon that the Colts, everyone's dismissing them. Understandably, they lost Luck. But Jacoby Brissett is pretty good. And so are all the weapons. I heard their line is amazing. So, yeah, the Colts have everything else. It'll be interesting to see how they rebound. But I think the Chargers are one of the few teams that I believe are Super Bowl contenders. I think they were that first tier, even without Melvin Gordon. They got some great backs. I love Phillip Rivers. You guys should know that. So I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Jake?
I did hear that a lot of people thought the LA Chargers could win the Super Bowl, and I'm not 100% sure that I'm in that camp yet. I'm concerned about Brissett just coming in there. He does know the offense, but he probably hasn't been in there long enough to really, get a grasp on things, not like Luck did. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers, but I will be keeping my eye on Brissett going forward.
I think Chargers at home. I think even with Andrew Luck in this game, I would have been tempted to take the Chargers. So I think just not knowing what we're going to see from the Colts. But I expect Frank Reich and his staff to have his team ready to play. I think it'll be a close game, but I like Chargers at home. Manny?
It's a long road trip for the Colts, but it's easier to go west than it is to go east. It is in Los Angeles. I hope I'm wrong because this is an AFC West situation, but I'm going to go Chargers.
Lara?
I got the Chargers.
All right. So see if Brandon's Colts can get him one there. Giants going to the Cowboys. Cowboys will have their star running back, and I'll tell you what, you look at the NFC right now, and you have to believe Dallas is one of the top contenders to go out there and be in the Super Bowl this year. The question is, can they get over the top? Can they live up to the expectations? And that's been a problem for them. And we've seen those, the Tony Romo years where we went into the season going, these guys should have a chance to get to the Super Bowl, and whether it was an injury or just didn't play as well as they should, it's been disappointment. So we'll see. This is, what did we say? How many years is this for?
Jason Garrett?
Yeah.
9, I think.
Yeah.
9.5.
9 seasons. Just
I don't know his contract.
Yep.
I watched the show, and they had mentioned, how does the rest of the locker room react to having
Zeke
back in there after him causing the disruption. Him, there was many other fields that they needed to fill, to fill positions they needed to fill, and took away from it. How does the rest of the team react to that, and what can that do to their season? It's just an interesting thought. That's all I'm going to say. Interesting thought.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's really hard to know inside a locker room what the chemistry is and what's going on there. Tip?
Well, he's not the leader. I mean, Dak Prescott's the leader of that team, and they got good leaders on the defensive side of the ball. Sean Lee, Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, they're going to be all over the place. So, yeah, I know the Dallas Cowboys offense gets all the attention because it is Dallas, but I think their defense is the real deal this year, and I'm going to go with my boy Charlie Devine and pick the Dallas Cowboys at home.
All right. Jake?
I'm taking Dallas. Just a counterpoint, they said that Zeke going to Cabo would be actually a bigger distraction. Actually, I kind of think it was the opposite. They were actually bringing up he wasn't in the media. They didn't show him going out to nightclubs. He wasn't on jet skis. He wasn't doing all this crazy stuff while he's doing his contract negotiations. And so him staying out, that media presence, may have kind of helped, it not divide the locker room like maybe some of these other players have in the past.
It's the coming back after holding out and it's that whole think of just you, right? It was just about him, not about the rest of the team. You take somebody like Peyton Manning when he was doing his contract negotiation, who said, "Let me take less money so we can get better players." That's the difference.
I'm never gonna get mad at a guy for going out and getting money while he can, especially a running back.
No kidding.
When their shelf life. I mean, because quarterbacks at least can have a 10+ year career. Running backs almost never have double-digit year careers. So, I can't be mad with Zeke. I would hope that the players wouldn't be, because if they're ever in that situation. But
plus, it's Jerry Jones. He can afford it.
Well, I like the Cowboys in this one. Giants. I mean, they're it's rebuilt for them, and wonderful to see Daniel Jones in the game instead of Eli this weekend. We'll see. Manny?
Over-under's 46. Dallas Cowboys, last one I saw is up, favored by 7.5. That's been going up. But Brandon, I think I agree with your point. I wonder, is everybody happy? Is everybody happy now?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. But it's in Dallas. I have to go Cowboys.
Larry?
Cowboys.
Brandon?
I'm going to go Cowboys as well. I still think that the team is a good team. You saw what a wide receiver, what difference that made, having Cooper last year. From the time they put him on, everything kind of changed a little bit. I don't think it's going to change. Yeah.
All right, Denver's getting 2 at Oakland. It's a mess. Their wide receiver, got into a confrontation with the GM the other day. They may cut him. Man, it's just nothing but fun out there in Oakland.
It's normal. It is normal. This is not a new normal. This is just normal. This is Oakland.
Who's the quarterback for Denver this year?
Joe Flacco.
Hey, let me tell you something. It's going to be an exciting year for Oakland. Finally, the final season, at the biggity-biggity-o, the black hole. So it's going to be exciting. I hope I can make it all the way to the end of the game. This one starts late. I usually go to bed at 8:30, 8:45. So I'm gonna have to take Tuesday morning off. But I'm going to go Oakland at home.
Claire?
I'm going to go with Oakland as well.
Oh, all right. Brandon?
Gosh, I have no idea on this. I mean, I'll just for Manny on this one, I'll go Oakland at home. I'm not happy about it, but I'll go Oakland at home.
Tim?
Well, I think it's a coin toss game. I like John Gruden, but shoot, everyone else is going to Oakland. I'll go Denver and try to steal one here.
Jake?
Yeah, I don't really like either one of these teams either. Just kind of the way they're set up. But I'm going to go ahead and take Oakland.
I'm going to go Denver. I think the distractions with Oakland's going to be a little bit too much of an issue here.
Manny's right, though. It's the new normal.
I guess. I think with Flacco in there, they've got some stability at quarterback, so I'm kind of excited to see what Denver can bring. Pittsburgh goes to New England in the Sunday night game. Patriots get to raise the banner, get the ring, all that good stuff. They're getting 5.5 in this game. Larry? I mean, do we even need to ask?
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't even really need to ask, but it's going to be the Patriots.
Yeah. All right. We'll see. Let's see if Tom ever starts to decline at all, if that's ever going to happen at some point. Ever. Right. Maybe like when he plays the Bills. Maybe he'll be bad then. That would be nice. Brandon?
I don't know why, but it feels like the spread should be more than 6 on this game. I don't, New England by 6? I mean, in New England? I don't see it. New England's going to win all day long, and it's going to be more than 6.
Tim?
Jeez. Doesn't make me nervous now. So no Le'Veon Bell, no Antonio Brown, no problem. Pittsburgh's going to win on the road.
Ooh. Jake?
Yeah, I'm taking New England.
At home, raising the banner, I think the Patriots. But I think Pittsburgh's still got a lot of talent, though. Ben's another guy you wonder when the decline starts really happening.
Well, James Conner stepped up for Bell, so I think he's pretty.
Years ago.
Probably. Manny?
Steelers.
Yeah.
All
The bottom dwellers. Tim and Manny trying to be like the Phoenix and rise up.
Steelers.
All right, that's going to do it for the show today. We will chat with you guys next week, Friday. Hopefully we'll be completely over on ESPN Alamogordo next week. Tonight you can listen to the Tiger football game on 92.7, but we encourage everybody to get out there, and also homecoming parade at 3 o'clock. Go check it out. It's Cuba down to 10th Street. You guys have a great rest of your day.
You're listening to Alamo AM 1230, KRSY Alamogordo.